At the beginning of the episode, we're asked what a hero truly is: a ray of light in a dark place, a savior in the midst of destruction. We're shown a superhero fighting a monster, and it's explained that such a figure is seen as the perfect example in people's hearts. We live in a world where heroes are greatly trusted by people. The idea is presented that anyone wearing a hero's costume could become one. A young man is shown saying all this. His name is Lin Ling, and his manager is sitting nearby. The manager asks him if he even knows who his client is. Lin responds, "Perfect hero, nice." The manager scolds him for talking nonsense, saying not everyone can be a hero and that Lin should only focus on promoting nice. They're basically working on a promotional video for To Be Hero X. Lin is kind of like a scriptwriter and acts out what can be said in the advertisement. He explains that the X in the title doesn't stand for a number. It means that even someone foolish like him can become a hero. Anyone can be a hero. But the manager interrupts him, calling him crazy and childish, saying that if Lin wants to be successful, he must face reality and work hard. There are no shortcuts. Just then, Miss J calls the manager to discuss promotional videos and ends the call quickly. The manager then tells Lin to pack up and leave. So Lin is fired and feels utterly hopeless. He goes to the rooftop, clearly intending to jump. He reflects that in this world, people become heroes only when they gain others' trust, but who would ever trust a guy like him? No one even gathers around him. At that moment, an advertisement plays on a screen featuring an actress named Moon. She's amazing, and we're shown that Moon and Nice work together in a show called Perfect Love and are also in a relationship. Lin had helped make that promotional video, and it was a great success, but now, that very success only makes him feel more depressed. Nearby, Nice is promoting apartments for Dream and Corporation. Seeing all this frustrates Lin, and he angrily shouts that he doesn't care about them anymore. Then suddenly, Nice actually appears in front of him with his superpowers. The scene goes into slow motion as Nice walks toward Lin, gives him his signature pose, and jumps off the rooftop. Obviously, he's a superhero, so he shouldn't die. But when Lin looks down, he sees Nice lying dead on the ground. Lin is shocked. How could someone who can fly be dead? Miss J arrives with her bodyguards and asks Lin where Nice is. Lin tells them that Nice jumped and died, and he has nothing to do with it. The bodyguards arrest Lin. We're shown a scene in the office where the team tries to hide the fact that Nice has died. When Lin regains consciousness, they ask who he is, and Lin introduces himself, saying he's unrelated to any of this. Miss J asks him to explain everything he saw and heard. Lin says Nice walked past him and jumped without saying a single word. Miss J confirms if that's all, and Lin adds that Nice gave his signature pose before jumping. Suddenly, Miss J gets a call from the organization. She doesn't tell them that Nice is dead. Lin tries to shout and tell them that Nice is dead, but Miss J throws a paint bucket at him, hitting him square in the face. She hangs up the call and walks over to Lin, noticing that white paint has covered his head. She remarks that even though Nice is dead, their minds are still alive. They'll find a way. They all notice that Lin looks a lot like Nice. So they decide to turn Lin into a replica of Nice. They teach him all of Nice's lines, change his hairstyle, costume, everything. For a week, they train him rigorously. The news reports that Nice has gone for solo training, and that a man named Lin Ling committed suicide, not Nice. From this point on, Lin begins living Nice's life. Fans gather around him, and as they interact, they begin to trust him. This trust value is shown as a number, and the more it increases, the more Lin starts becoming like Nice. His appearance changes, even his eye color becomes the same. Everyone's thrilled by the transformation, but Miss J warns that everything depends on trust value. One snap of a finger and it could all be gone. Lin reflects that he never imagined someone like him could become a hero and the center of the world's attention. Miss J tells him not to forget to meet his girlfriend. Of course, we remember that Nice's girlfriend is Moon, who's waiting for him. Lin is terrified. Moon knows every detail about Nice and could easily find out he's a fake. But Miss J pushes him out anyway, insisting he must go. Lin steps out and confidently walks toward Moon, extending his hand to hers. She pauses for a moment, and inside Lin's mind, everything begins to blur as he thinks, she really is beautiful. He already had a crush on Moon here, and he was feeling really good about it. Moon holds his hand, and they both enter a live broadcast which is about to start in 5 seconds. Okay, the name of the show is True Love Recipe. And this is a live venue. Now, the host has changed, and a hero ranked 249 has replaced the old host. He is the Eye of Truth Enlighter, who basically brings the truth to light. Miss J gets scared seeing this because their plan had changed. She asks why the host was changed at the last minute, and she is told that the previous host was exposed by Enlighter on the live stream, which is why he was replaced. Miss J then asks why they didn't inform her earlier, and they reply that they found out only a little while ago. Now, Enlighter is the substitute host. Seeing this, Lin gets scared, realizing that it seems Enlighter knows the truth about him and might be there to expose him. The show is about trust and love, and they're going to conduct a test to see if they trust each other. The first question is about how many commercials Moon has done and what the total runtime is. This is a difficult question, and Miss J gets irritated. Enlighter is confident that Lin doesn't know the answer because he's been investigating him for a week and knows that he's fake. Even Moon doesn't remember how many commercials she has done, but Lin gives the correct answer, saying 134 commercials with a total runtime of 285 minutes and 48 seconds. Enlighter is surprised because he thought Lin was fake, but this answer shows otherwise. Earlier, Lin had found great inspiration in Moon, even suggesting costumes for her. Her manager had scolded him, telling him that Moon was not his girlfriend to control. Then, the second stage of the game begins, similar to Truth or Dare, and Enlighter asks if Moon is really Lin's girlfriend. This is a dangerous question for Lin, and Enlighter is trying to trap him. Lin thinks that the whole game was set up to expose him, and Enlighter knows that Lin is a fake hero. Lin can't give the true answer because he knows it's a trap, so he ends up saying that Moon is not his girlfriend. Everyone is shocked, and Enlighter says, "I knew it, no hero is perfect." But Lin then says, "Moon is actually my goddess," which shocks everyone. He remembers how Moon has always motivated him, encouraged him, and given him hope. He respects her deeply and says that he became a hero to protect her. The audience is amazed, and love spreads across the internet. Moon is impressed, but Enlighter is furious and says that the third stage is still left. The final stage is a big fight. Enlighter reveals that Lin's manager has come and is in serious debt. The manager had been pushing for payments that weren't made, and his company was about to go bankrupt. Lin's manager starts attacking him out of desperation, and Lin tries to defend himself. Meanwhile, the audience's ratings rise, and Lin feels good about becoming a hero. However, the manager keeps attacking, but Lin finally defeats him with one punch, stopping the fight. The manager complains about how difficult it is to run a company and the stress of employees who don't listen. Then, Lin realizes that his fear has given him strength, and he uses that power to stop the manager. Lin starts to believe that anyone can be a hero, even an ordinary person like him. He then decides to stop the manager once and for all and ends up doing so with a powerful punch. The manager is caught, and it's revealed that he had been using a fair amplifier weapon. Miss J says, "It seems like you're quite fit for this role." Lin replies that he now understands what she meant. He says that he thought he was supposed to play the role of nice, but now he knows that he is nice. Miss J agrees and says, "In that case, we can drop you off at your home." They arrive at Hero Tower, and it's explained that the higher the rank, the higher the floor of a hero. From there, the view is incredible. Lin asks if Miss J knows why Nice committed suicide, and she replies that Nice had his own reasons. He had a choice that day, and so will Lin someday. As Lin enters his home, he sees a giant statue of Nice. He feels exhausted and jumps into bed, wondering what Moon is doing. He knows that Moon and Nice were living together. As he throws a blanket over her, he feels embarrassed to lie next to her, but when he tries to leave, he discovers that Moon is dead. She has been murdered, and this is a shocking plot twist. The episode ends here. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on more exciting and engaging videos. Your support means a lot and helps me keep creating great content for you to enjoy. Stay tuned for more interesting updates and stories coming your way.